Football has never been just about talent. But in modern football, talent alone is no longer enough. What truly separates the highest-paid players in the world is role, context, and how central they are to a club's identity. Today, we're breaking down the top 10 highest-paid footballers of 2025, not just how much they earn, but why the football world values them at this level. Let's start with number 10. Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal's presence on this list feels abnormal. Not because of his ability, but because of his age. At 18, players are usually protected, rotated, and developed quietly. Yamal is none of those things. At Barcelona, he is already a functional starter, not a marketing experiment, not a rotation piece. Tactically, Yamal offers something extremely rare for a young winger. He understands when to hold width and when to attack space inside. He doesn't play with desperation, he plays with timing. That matters, because Barcelona's system depends on wingers who can stretch the pitch without breaking positional discipline. Yamal already does this naturally. Financially, Barcelona are responding to that reality. His estimated weekly base salary is around $400,000, including bonuses and image rights, a figure that reflects not potential, but responsibility. Off the pitch, the logic continues. Yamal's sponsorship portfolio, Adidas, global football gaming campaigns, Powerade, Beats by Dre, is not random. These are brands targeting longevity, not short-term hype. They see a player who fits modern football, young, composed, technically clean, culturally neutral, and globally marketable. Yamal isn't being paid because he scores goals today. He's being paid because Barcelona already play like they need him. And that is why his position on this list makes sense. Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham's rise at Real Madrid didn't surprise tacticians. It surprised people who underestimated context. Bellingham is not a traditional midfielder. He is a system multiplier. At Madrid, he operates in a role that sits between interior midfielder, late-arriving attacker, emotional reference point. He doesn't control the game through tempo. He controls it through presence. That's why his impact translated immediately. Real Madrid value players who can decide games without needing the system to revolve around them. Bellingham fits that profile perfectly. His estimated weekly salary of $450,000 to $500,000 reflects that status. Not just a top player, but someone trusted in decisive moments. Off the pitch, his image follows the same logic. Brands like Adidas and Louis Vuitton are not attracted to flair here. They are attracted to stability. Bellingham is marketed as serious, controlled, dependable, future-proof. He looks like someone who will be elite for 10 years, not someone peaking for 2. That's why his sponsorship income, estimated at $14 to $16 million per year, already places him among football's commercial elite. Bellingham isn't paid like a midfielder. He's paid like a long-term reference point. Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane's position on this list is not about influence or visibility. It's about timing. From a footballing perspective, Mane is already a finished profile. What clubs see in him now is not development, but guarantee. At Al Nassr, his estimated weekly salary sits between $950,000 and $1 million, placing him among the highest-paid players in Saudi football. That figure reflects something very specific. Mane was signed to raise the level immediately, not to be built around long-term. On the pitch, his value is tactical reliability. He understands space, pressing triggers, and defensive responsibility. Qualities that translate across leagues and systems. Off the pitch, his earnings are comparatively modest, estimated at $4 or $5 million per year, linked to deals such as New Balance. That balance tells you everything. Mane is not being paid to expand a brand. He's being paid because he delivers exactly what is expected every week. This is modern football economics, stripped down to its core. Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah is one of the most structurally important players in European football. At Liverpool, his estimated weekly salary of $450,000 to $500,000 reflects not just output, but dependence. Salah is not a system player. The system bends around him. Tactically, he offers something few wide attackers do: a constant scoring threat without losing positional discipline. He doesn't drift aimlessly. He occupies zones that force defensive adjustments. That consistency is what makes him so valuable. Off the pitch, Salah's commercial profile mirrors his football. Stable, predictable, trusted. His sponsorship income, estimated at $18 to $20 million per year, comes from long-term partnerships with Adidas, Pepsi, and Vodafone. These are brands that prioritize reach and reliability. Salah connects Europe, Africa, and the Middle East not through spectacle, but through sustained excellence. In modern football, that kind of profile ages extremely well. Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. represents the modern winger in its purest form. At Real Madrid, his estimated weekly salary of $400,000 to $450,000 reflects his status as a cornerstone of the club's attacking structure. Tactically, Vinicius is not just a dribbler. He is a spacing weapon. By holding width and attacking isolation situations, he dictates defensive shapes before the ball even reaches him. That ability changes how teams defend Madrid. Off the pitch, his earnings accelerate rapidly. Vinicius generates an estimated $18–22 million per year from sponsorships with Nike, Gatorade, Pepsi, and Unilever. These brands are not buying goals. They are buying movement, emotion, and moments. Every acceleration, every duel, every celebration feeds modern football's content-driven ecosystem. Vinicius is not paid because he wins matches. He is paid because he keeps the game visually alive. Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland's value is rooted in inevitability. At Manchester City, his estimated weekly salary of $850,000 to $900,000 reflects something very rare: a striker who removes uncertainty. Tactically, Haaland simplifies the game. Defenses don't need to guess what he will do, they know. And still, they can't stop it. His movement is economical, his finishing is mechanical, his role is clear. That clarity is exactly why clubs are willing to pay premium wages. Off the pitch, Haaland earns an estimated $18–20 million per year, primarily through his long-term partnership with Nike. Unlike more expressive players, his commercial appeal is built on records, numbers, milestones. As football becomes more data-driven, profiles like Haaland's become increasingly valuable. He doesn't sell creativity, he sells certainty. Kylian Mbappé. Kylian Mbappé exists at the intersection of football and power. At Real Madrid, his estimated weekly earnings of $1.2 to $1.3 million reflect his status as a central figure, not a complementary one. Tactically, Mbappé forces structural decisions. Teams must decide, remember, do they protect space behind or press higher and risk exposure? Off the pitch, Mbappé earns an estimated $25 million per year through carefully curated partnerships with Nike and Hublot. What defines his profile is control. He selects deals. He protects his image. He positions himself as football's future authority. Clubs don't just invest in Mbappé's present. They invest in the idea that he will define the next era. Karim Benzema. Karim Benzema's earnings are the result of perfect alignment. At the point of his move, he combined elite status, recent success, and immediate availability. His estimated weekly salary of $1.9 to $2 million in Saudi Arabia reflects the premium placed on credibility. Benzema was not signed as a project. He was signed as validation. Off the pitch, his estimated $4–5 million per year in sponsorships, including Adidas, are secondary. This is football money at its most direct. Elite reputation converted into elite wages. Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is no longer evaluated like a footballer, he is evaluated like infrastructure. At Inter Miami, his estimated weekly football-related income of around $1.2 million includes salary, bonuses, and league-linked agreements. But his true value lies elsewhere. Off the pitch, Messi earns an estimated $65 million per year through partnerships with Adidas, MasterCard, and revenue-sharing structures connected to MLS and Apple TV. Messi doesn't just attract fans. He changes consumption patterns. He alters broadcast demand. He increases sponsorship reach. That's why his off-field income rivals his on-field earnings. Before we get to number 1, if you enjoy football explained with depth and context, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo occupies a category entirely of his own. At Al Nassr, his estimated weekly salary of $3.8 to $4 million is the highest in football history. But even that is only part of the picture. Off the pitch, Ronaldo earns an estimated $75 to $80 million per year through sponsorships, business ventures, and licensing deals. This includes his Nike lifetime agreement and long-standing partnerships with Herbalife. What defines Ronaldo's financial dominance is not football, it's reach. He is one of the most visible athletes on the planet. Every post, every appearance, every interaction carries commercial weight. Cristiano Ronaldo does not just generate attention, he owns it. So the question isn't whether footballers are overpaid. The question is whether football itself has become valuable enough to justify these numbers. Because in modern football, money follows importance. And these players sit at the very center of the game.